Hello everybody, my name is Charlotte. I'm the founder of Cloud9 and I wanted to do a video today in honour of Mental Health Awareness Week and talk a little bit about what Cloud9 is, how it started and what it means to me. Cloud9 is a clothing brand all based around spreading awareness for mental health, opening up conversations and putting an end to the stigma. 4 years ago, I really started to struggle with my own mental health. I had been caring for someone who was also struggling with their mental health, and it really affected my life looking after them. The individual actually tried to commit suicide in front of me and also on FaceTime. It was really traumatic and I had a really hard year afterwards dealing with it. And I got to a point where I also found myself not really wanting to be here anymore. At this point I really had no passion for anything, and I didn't care anymore about anything. I just felt like, what was the point? I didn't want to design, I didn't want to do anything, I didn't want to get out of bed, to be honest. I was really struggling with panic attacks and anxiety every single day, about a year, and it was just horrendous. And it got to a point where I think my flatmate, she knew where my mind was at and she knew where my thoughts were and what direction I was going in. So we went to the doctors, and the GP turned to me and just said, "No wonder you feel like this." And having that acknowledgement from a complete stranger, a professional, like allowing me to feel a certain way was really good for me. And I left that point. I was on antidepressants for a little while. And from that point onwards I started to really work on myself and try and build myself up again. So one day at uni I drew these girls. This is where it all started, and it came from the concept of when I used to care for their individual, they described it as a big black cloud over their head, and I really related to that black cloud quite quickly. For me it was the heaviness. I used to feel really heavy every day, and I was like, I'm going to put this into my work, because the first time I ever read the description on anxiety, I remember being like, oh my god, like I relate to this so much, like to the point where I was in tears, because I thought it was just me. I thought I was just like that, like I just felt this knot in my stomach all the time and I would just have to live with it, and then I didn't realise there's so many people like me. So I started to include it all into my work, and I drew all these girls with clouds on their heads, a really easy concept for people to talk. So like when people say, oh, you know, she's got big afro, when I explain it to them, literally 9 out of 10 times they will then go into a story and tell me such personal things. And I just think if we as strangers can all start these conversations like this, then we're all going to have conversations that day that might lift a little bit that cloud off us a little bit more, might make us feel a little bit better, might make us relate to someone else who is dealing with something. You might save someone's life. Like some conversations I had when I was in a really bad way, there's so many things I remember of people saying to me that got me through that day. When I was in a better place, I started screen printing again, and it's just grew since then. So since then I've done talks in schools, which is my most favourite thing I could do with Cloud9. It's super rewarding. One of the schools I talked in, a little year 10 girl came up to me and she was crying. She's just like, my mum has depression, she really struggles and none of my school friends really get it, so having you come in and talk really helped me today. That was emotional. And then I've got into workplaces, professional workplaces, and I've told them, and I've had amazing response from them. So I know there's people who really relate to what Cloud9 is. I handprint it all in my garage, and now it is one of my reasons that I have now got a love for life again. I just want to say to anyone who is struggling with their mental health, it is so important to talk to someone. It's so important to talk to someone. It is so important to look after yourself. Be kind to yourself. Oh my god, I used to be so mean to myself. 9 times out of 10 there's someone sat next to you in the tube who has felt the same way, or is feeling the same way, or whose daughter's felt the same way, or whose mum. You know, life's really, really hard, so the most important thing is that we're nice to each other and we make it a little bit easier. There's no words to describe what this has been for me. It's so much more than just a brand, and having everyone wear my clothes and being able to send a little donation to charity. I'm just hoping that anyone who out there is watching this, you know, feels a little bit like, okay, this is, I feel, I understand how she felt, I relate to that, but I'm going to keep going because she's got to this point, I'll get to that point in my dream. Follow your dreams, and yeah, thank you everyone.